Although you did struggle with my last name, didn't you? But then again, everybody does. It's Malavialle, yeah. Malavialle. It's not Malavialle, I'm not Italian. It's Malavialle. Very good, Malavialle. You can do it, you see. Yes, that's me. Now, people always ask me, how do you pronounce your surname? So now you know, Malavialle. And then the second question they ask me is, what does it mean? I actually didn't think my name meant anything at all. Until you ask me. And then I had to think. Not for very long. I don't like thinking for too long anyway. And actually it does mean something. It's quite a fairly common surname in the south of France. Not in the north, in the south of France. Now, Mal is not a very good start, is it? Mal means bad, as you probably know. So, and Vialle, Viol, Vialle with an A, Viol with an O, or Vielle with an E is an old word for fiddle. So basically, I'm a bad fiddle. And if you actually gave me a fiddle, you would realize that this is completely true. So Flossie Bad-Fiddle. Now, the other question, and it's actually funny because somebody's just asked me now at the table there, what's Flossie for? You know, surely this is not your proper name, like. Well, actually, it's not the name on my passports, because I've got two now. Because I'm worth it. No, sorry, it's just a L'Oreal thing. Women only, you wouldn't know what I'm on about. Anyway, no, Flossie is actually Flossie, that's the way we say it in French, Flossie. And when I was born, in 19 Frankie Vaughan, that means a long time ago. When I was born, my mom, obviously, I was in hospital for, I don't know, my mom stayed in hospital for 2 or 3 days at the time, I don't know what it was. And then she brought me back to her mum's, my grandmother. And the neighbour, who lived just across the, on the same floor, the neighbour came to actually see the new baby. Moi. So she came to see my grandmother and my mum and myself. And she looked at the little, at the baby, and she said, "Oh, look at that beautiful Flossie." And it was my grandmother's neighbour who nicknamed me Flossie. And the reason for it is because my full name is Florence Marie, with a hyphen. Florence, right? Florence Marie. We all called something Marie in the family. It's a Catholic thing, whatever. So anyway, my sister is Céline Marie. My mom is Marie-Vonne. My nephew is Jean-Baptiste Marie. We all Marie something. So I'm Florence Marie. Now, being raised as a Catholic, I actually got my godmother and godfather's names as well as middle names. So here are this is my full name, and this is completely true, this. My full name is Florence Marie Blandine, that's my auntie, who's my godmother. Georgette, that's my granddad, who's called George, and Georgette is the feminine for George. So Florence Marie Blandine Georgette Malavialle. You think there's 5 people coming in the room. No, it's just... So that's my full name. Honestly, this is completely true. And the great thing that I actually didn't realize, well, I knew what my grandmother's parents' names were, but I could see the humor in the fact that my dad's parents were George and Elizabeth. That's what they call. It's a very, very British names of kings and queens and stuff. So it's just quite amazing when you think about it. George, Elizabeth, all fairly old-fashioned names in French, as they probably are in English as well. Although maybe not as much now. We've got a Prince George and all that stuff, so I think all the old names tend to come back to fashion as well. But my grandparents were George and Elizabeth, and my other grandparents were Auguste. Yeah, Augustus, I don't know what it's like in English, Auguste, and my grandmother was Marcel. So Marcel Auguste on the one side, my mom's side, and Georges Elisabeth on my dad's side. So there you go. So yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? So that's it. You know all you need to know now. You don't need to know anything else. So Flossie is actually not a nickname I was given in the northeast of England, which most people assume, because everybody calls anybody else Flossie in the northeast, like your sheep, your dog, your auntie, whatever. It's called Flossie. So that's okay, I can cope with that. I've got a sense of humour. Yes, I know it sounds weird for a French person, but I do. So, but I've had to develop a sense of humour, being French living in the northeast of England. But I'm okay, I've survived. I've been living there for 14 years, 1-4 already. I know, it's amazing. And I survived, so it's lovely. Because people in the northeast are very nice. We were just agreeing on that, weren't we? Yes. I'm not saying they're not over here. I just don't want to make any enemies or anything. I would love to come back in 2 or 3 years' time, but you know. But there you are. So, time to sing now, because I know you cannot wait for the raffle, so I'm just going to rush through every song so you can... That's the only thing people are interested in. And this is a song by a lady called Beth Nielsen Chapman. And this is actually a lively song by Beth Nielsen Chapman, which sounds like an oxymoron. But it isn't, I promise it is. A lovely song. It's called World of Hurt. It doesn't sound too good, but actually it's a song about being happy again, despite some negative things in her life. And it's negative things in the world in general, which sadly we have to cope a lot with at the moment. But there's also room for positive, and it's sometimes how we look at things that makes the difference. So, World of Hurt by Beth Nielsen Chapman. Day one, God smiled, gave us all the wisdom of a newborn child. But by the time we take our first step, we've already begun to forget what the heart knows, the heart sees. We're just as much the forest as we are the trees. Every little seed to try to find where the light comes from. Well, it's a world of hurt, nothing works. It's a lonely little planet made of dust and dirt. But everything that in the midst of all this, something as beautiful as love exists. Baby, I hold you and you hold me, and heaven doesn't seem like such a mystery. In a world of hurt, you make me feel so good. Day one of foreign love, 2 heartbroken people scared to trust too much. Oh, but here comes that feeling again. Then every lover swears we never end. We thought we'd been there, done that, but when we kissed, we knew we'd never been here. We'd never done this. Oh, the walls come tumbling down when you love someone. Well, it's a world of hurt, nothing works. It's a lonely little planet made of dust and dirt. But everything that in the midst of all this, something as beautiful as love exists. Baby, I hold you and you hold me, and heaven doesn't seem like such a mystery. In a world of hurt, you make me feel so good. In a world of hurt, you make me feel so good.